And then, eventually, I'm still waiting around in ignorance of this whole phenomenon, Spirited Away came out. And let's see here. My ownership could give you some clue as to my love of the film, because I'm rather stingy with these things, you see. I remember Spirited Away. I remember the thing, in case you missed it, got like, zillions, like dozens and dozens of 4-star reviews from all these various outlets and such. And eventually won the Oscar for Best Animated Picture. I remember walking in after I spent the whole weekend getting some backlog homework done, and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours on that. But finally, we had to go 2 towns over to find a theater that was playing it, because then we knew this whole anime thing and putting it in theaters and all that. But I got to see Spirited Away, and I had no clue what it was about, which I'm glad for. I love to approach things without spoilers, particularly something as good as some of this awesome stuff I'm going to be listing up soon enough. Which is why, for the upper echelon, I ask you to please don't know what's going to happen in advance. In my personal opinion, that makes it a lot better. Just to be surprised. Like I said the last time, I went to the theater having really no idea what something was about. I really had no idea. I just had a picture of the main character, the title, and the fact that everybody else seemed to love it. And I've loved it. It's one of my favorite movies ever. Okay. So. Suing into anime. Well, where do you go? Well, there's some popular things that I mentioned. Popular that you may have heard of, that is. There's Naruto, for instance. Well, here's the thing. I did the video subscription profile Moscow X. I talked about Naruto the Abridged series, which is basically where I first heard of Naruto. And I happened to mention that it seemed kind of like a kiddie anime to me, and I got a whole lot of comments from people who insist it's not. So I'm going to throw that one up in the air, just as a name. A lot of people list Naruto as good stuff. Maybe it is good stuff. I don't know. From my very vague impressions, I saw like 10 minutes on Cartoon Network once. I didn't think too much of it. But I don't know much at all, do I? But Cartoon Network, though. Aha! Let me bring something up. I have never heard an anime fan praise Cartoon Network in any way whatsoever. In fact, they always bring up the subject to talk about how bad the place is. Why is it bad? Because they use what we call dubs. Now, here's the deal with anime, right? As I said, it's Japanese animation. That means it was originally in Japanese, which gives us English-speaking people a bit of a conundrum as to how to watch it. There's 2 options. There's dubbing, wherein they take the original pictures and then they dub English voices, English-speaking voices, not English as in British, English-speaking voices onto those pictures, and then you know what they're saying. Or there's subtitles, or subbing, in which you put just the original soundtrack and you can hear everyone speaking Japanese, and there's subtitles at the bottom telling you what they say. And almost every anime fan in the universe that I've seen so far is ardently a supporter of subbing. Always subtitles, never dubbing. I always hear all these horror stories about how all these anime were always screwed up entirely in the translation, oftentimes edited and changed about. Naruto, for instance, people are talking about how in the American version, they'll go through like scene by scene and take out some blood here and take out some swears here and take out some kind of sexual things here and take out and just change around the meanings of all sorts of things. I think there was a DBZ thing people were complaining about where our hero, see, I won't even spoil this for you, but basically he's going to go kill the bad guy, and in Japanese he swears at him and delivers the final blow and blows our guy to smithereens, and in English he shows mercy on him and gives him some energy so he can not die, something like that. I don't know, I never really saw it. But this is the thing that gets anime fans really angry. In fact, in Anime Club, there was one time when we didn't have our normal series available that day for whatever reason, I forget what. So we're going to watch some other random anime movie that nobody had heard of, but we're just going to put it in for whatever reason, just to pass the and there was a problem with the DVD player, because we were in a different room than usual, and they couldn't get it into subtitle mode. It could only play in dubs, no matter how many buttons you seem to press on the remote control. So we finally decided, after like 10 or 20 minutes, okay, we're just going to watch this in dubs. About 1/4 of the whole anime club just got up and walked out. Like, it's almost like a semi-religious thing. I'm just like, I refuse to watch dubs. Or something. I don't know. Here's my opinion, alright? Dubs are much harder to do, because you've got to fit the timing of all the mouth movements quite well. Though, let's be note, in Japanese animation, they do things differently than in American animation. American, we record the voices, and then we draw the pictures to match the voices. In Japan, they draw the pictures, and then the voice person has to match their lips to the moving lips on the thing. Which actually makes it easier for people trying to do dubbing, because, well, the lips are already moving, essentially at random. Not as completely random, you know what I mean? Somewhat at random. They weren't made to a specific person's performance. It's that person who performs, even in Japanese, to the pictures. Anyway, my opinion on the whole dub-sub debate is, well, somewhat off of the mainstream in the anime world. As I see it, dubs are harder to do, but when they're done well, it's better, or it has more potential, right? The way I see it, subs, I mean, you're constantly flicking your eyes down to the bottom of the screen to read whatever it is anybody's saying, and that kind of takes away your visual attention from other things you might notice. Though you do get really good at speed reading. And, you know, I'm on video games now, and I'm like, bip, 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 just like banging through like somebody's dialogue. Okay, I can read that now. And you don't get inflection. You don't get these little bits of emotion that we can put into like each and everything. You get some of it. You can get a little, but not enough. You know, if you're listening to things in English, right? If you go dubs, now again, dubs are hard to do for the people trying to do the dubbing. But if they work hard at it, and if you've got like, you know, AAA dub team, which they do exist here and there, then you don't have to flick your eyes down all the time. And you get the full benefit of inflection. You get the full benefit of different voices and being able to, these little things. You know, like if someone's from Texas or something, they can have a southern accent, right? But if someone's from the southern area of Japan, well, you and I have no idea what people in the southern area of Japan sound like, as opposed to people in the northern or the east or the west or any given, you know, town or any given stereotype. Even, you know, I mean, you do pick up a few things. But really not as much detail as, say, the Japanese audience would know. In dubs, you have the detail. You have, you know, where people are from, sort of thing, just separating them. But much more than that, it's line per line. At least to me, it feels more real, you know? And, I mean, the only way I could really prove it to you is if you get yourself some really good anime, and watch in dubs and watch in subs and see which one you prefer. Again, the mainstream, everybody is huge on subs, and they hate it when everyone hates when any change is made. Someone's like, oh well, this person had a high pitched voice in the original thing, but in the dubs it's a lower pitched voice, and that's bad. I say, again, you ever realize that there's at least that possibility that maybe that guy ought to have a lower pitched voice in the American version? That maybe, you know, maybe the new team actually did a couple of things better, and a couple of things worse, and a couple of things everywhere. But anime fans tend to be purists.